Hey, what's up, you guys? Does capitalism get you down?
Does the constant pressure to be productive get to you?
Are you tired of being a cog in the machine?
Then we invite you to be part of the revolution against toxic productivity by embracing the useless things.
Welcome to episode 46 of Very Unimportant People podcast.
Do less.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lidia, and this week, I went out to a bar in a wig, and it was so clearly a wig, and I just had a little wig night with my friend, and it was fun. It was cool. A little change in identity, a little change in pace. I recommend.
And my name's Courtney, and this week I quit my job again.
Yay!
Different job. But I did quit a job again.
Congratulations, my guy.
Thank you.
We're all so happy for you. Courtney was working in the bowels of customer service.
Capitalism.
And,
I was holding capitalism up on my shoulders. I was just supporting it, and it was just draining my soul. I hate capitalism. I don't want to support it in that capacity.
Yeah, totally. And it was too direct with capitalism, you know? Daily, just dealing with refunds and people who are just deep in the system and believe that they deserve refunds all the time, no matter what.
Nothing. Yelling at
over
me.
Literally nothing.
Over a pair of pants.
And I mean, these people are the people who are just slaves to capitalism, you know?
Yeah. It's not their fault. It's not their fault, but it's also not mine.
Yeah, and you shouldn't be getting yelled at for it.
No.
Anyways, Congratulations.
Thank you.
Fuck that place. And now you're on the other side, doing something else for
In a way, yes. Always.
So.
It's a job.
Always.
So,
That's
always.
True. Yeah.
You can't escape it if you're working a job.
No.
But like less so, less directly, less angry people, a little bit more purpose. So let's hope it goes well.
I'm so happy for you. Thanks. That's so cute.
Thanks.
I love it.
Tell us about your wig. Your wig night.
My wig night. Well, the wig caps, I gotta say, looked a little ridiculous. You know, when you put those like little condom heads on and you're just like walking around with like no hair. That was definitely a 10 out of 10 experience. And then like I wore this like light purple curly long with bangs wig, and like it was so, my hair is so thin naturally, but this wig was so thick and big and like bouncy, and I was like, holy shit, I look amazing. And also it was a little bit of a redemption for myself, because in high school I actually tried to dye my hair the color that I was wearing last night.
That was the color that you were trying.
That was the color that I was going for, and the color that I got from Manic Panic was dark blue. I came to school, I'm a blonde. I came to school the next day with dark blue hair, and like everyone was like, what the fuck is going on? My drama teacher was like touching my hair. She was like, no, Lydia.
She was like, oh
what
no.
have you done? She was so upset. She was genuinely like upset about it. And then slowly I tried to wash it out. You know, I did the whole baking soda deal. And then it turned green. And I had green hair for about 3 months as I waited for it to wash out and go back to my normal hair color, which it finally did. And I never dyed my hair again. It was a semi-permanent dye, but still, I was traumatized.
It was an experience. I remember that whole era of your life.
That whole vividly. Era? Yeah, me too, man. I was so upset. So it was a little bit redeeming to like take a look at that and be like, you know, wow, this color does actually look pretty solid on me, you know? I feel like a light purple is still in style, still cute. Yeah, I like it.
You had me fooled for a moment. When I first opened your Instagram, I was like, whoa, Lydia dyed her hair? What the fuck?
Oh my god.
And then
so
I saw how long it was in the next picture and how thick it was, and I was like,
there's no way that's her real hair.
I think this is a wig, but it looked good.
No, yeah, I liked it too. I was not used to having that much hair. It was so nice. Oh my gosh, you guys with thick hair, I got to live your life for a day, and it was for a night even. It was fantastic. I just felt like a whole new person. It was great. Yeah, it was a good time. We went to like a little arcade bar.
Ooh.
Played some old school Pac-Man and pinball.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Definitely
Sounds
recommend
fun.
if you're in
Sounds
Toronto.
Sounds fun. But only do it with a wig.
Only with
Wigs
a wig.
only.
Otherwise, it's whatever. Otherwise, it's just like an arcade with expensive drinks, you know? But if you wear a wig, it's a whole experience.
Now that like COVID's dying down, we got to find like new ways to like disguise ourselves while going out because masks are going to become not a thing soon and I'm not going to be able to hide behind it. So wigs.
We need other things to make us feel safe. And there's something about a wig that I think makes people want to not talk to you. Just based on my bar experience.
Like, I'm good.
That girl seems a little crazy.
I'm not going to go in with that. No, we're not going to open that Pandora's box. Gonna leave that there.
Looks like that girl's got suspicious. Yes.
Good strategy. Good strategy.
Yeah, it was nice. It was a good strategy. And yeah, that's what's up with us this week, guys. Turning over new leaves.
So exciting.
Every day. And in a couple of weeks, we'll be recording an episode together. Yay! Yay! And now we are smarter. We are wiser. Well, Courtney is. Courtney edits. So she knows things about things.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
It won't happen again, guys. Yeah, I know that first episode of us recording together, audio rough. If any of you made it through that, I applaud you because I barely did. I know how to, I get it now. I know how to do it. It's okay. It won't happen again.
Makes more sense. Maybe we'll just use one microphone. Okay, maybe
I think that would be worse.
Okay.
Just like the fumbling of us handing it back and forth.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Or just us.
You're right. Sitting very close together.
Yeah.
Very, very close together.
We'll see. We'll figure it out. Maybe we'll still do the Zoom call.
Yeah. So cute. We can totally make that happen. Because you have a lot of different space. Yeah, I'm excited.
We'll figure
it's
it out.
Gonna be great.
We'll figure it out.
BC, I'm coming for you.
Woo!
If we have any fans in British Columbia, we will be having a meetup on Saturday somewhere. So come meet us.
No date, just Saturday, guys. Saturday somewhere. Be there.
Saturday and find us.
Be there. You'll be upset if you're not there on Saturday somewhere.
I'm going to really realize, we have no true fans. No one who actually will come out and show
up
faces.
for us. Even when we tell you exactly when and where to meet us.
Hey guys, now is the time of the podcast where we talk about the poll from last week. So, as you remember, last week we talked about Apple and gift giving and like Courtney's beef with the holidays. But before that, we had our own beef on TikTok. We posted this TikTok and we received like 3 or 4 or 5 comments from this user who mentioned in the comments just casually, I was gonna follow, but then I saw very unimportant, so I'll take your word for it. Rename your shit. It's terrible. Pretty rude. So he went on to talk about a couple other things, saying you should do a podcast episode about how you should name your podcast better, etc., etc. And then I posted a poll and I asked you guys if you think we should rename the podcast. And I'm happy to report that 87% of people are like, your name is fucking great.
And thank you to those people.
Listen to this hater. Yes, and thank you to those people. No thank you to the people who voted yes. You guys are haters. Yeah.
Let us know what you think it should be renamed to, just so we can shoot your idea down.
We'll workshop it. AKA tell you it's a no-go. But an update on that, he actually ended up following the podcast TikTok.
And then Lidia outed him to our entire Instagram by posting that he followed us. So I hope he doesn't follow us on Instagram.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, follow us on Instagram for that drama. If you want to know what's going on every week. And let's get to the poll. Courtney, kick us off.
So the first question we had was, would you opt out of receiving gifts if it meant not spending on gifts? And this was 50-50.
Wow.
Which I think is very interesting.
Yes, that is very interesting. So you guys are like, yeah, I want to save some money. But then other people are like, no, I'll spend the money to receive the presents. Even if they're presents that you don't want, you guys? Are you sure about that?
I'd rather save the money.
I think I'd rather save the money too. Yeah. The next question was, do you think Apple is at a standstill in innovation? 75% of you said yeah.
LOL.
Oh my god.
Who said no?
Oh, that's so funny, you guys.
What the hell? Why did those people say no?
I love this. I think that our Instagram and our TikTok needs to be much more energetically aligned because your opinions on Instagram are very different than the ones that we get on TikTok. So it's really a breath of fresh air when
people were really like personally offended. They were like, it's very unfair of you to discredit all the work that Apple has done since Steve Jobs died.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? You don't owe Apple anything.
I don't care.
Why are you doing this?
In my opinion.
Yeah, what the fuck?
And the next question was, would you opt out of not traveling to see your family for Christmas? Would you opt out of not traveling? Would you opt out of traveling?
Shit.
This question was confusing, but it was supposed to read, would you opt out of traveling to see your family for Christmas?
What is wrong with me? I'm so sorry, Courtney.
38% of you said that I'm assuming that you would opt out of traveling home to see family for Christmas.
Yes.
And I respect that.
Out of not
it is too expensive. Yes. It is too busy. Those are my two main points. Yes. It's too expensive and it's too busy. Just go during a different time of the year. You can see your family anytime. Like, just
it doesn't mean you don't love them any less.
Christmas.
No, it doesn't. It could be November when it's cheaper to travel. It could be February.
Surprise them.
Literally any time.
Not when you're forced to go.
Yeah, Christmas in the summer. That could be cute. Just do your own thing. And the next one was, do you use Spotify or Apple Music? 67% use Spotify. 33% use Apple Music. Whoa.
Yeah, Spotify's better. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
For those of you that said Apple Music, you're
the proof.
I'm sorry.
The proof is in the poll. I'm sorry. So yeah, thank you so much for participating in that poll, everybody. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at very.unimportant.people for some more. And we'll see you in a couple of seconds on the the fake time podcast. This is real time.
But also fake time.
Real
time for us.
Oh, there's so much Inception happening every week.
Hi, guys. Anyways.
Jinx. Jigs. So this week, guys, I'm going to kick it off. And, I've been going on a couple of rants a lot in the past couple of weeks. And, I love the anger. I love to fuel the anger. But this week, I really couldn't find anything to be too upset about. I mean, I could, but it wasn't long enough to be an opinion. It was just a 3-second thing, and I was like, fuck, I hate life. And then I just kind of would move on. So this week although this could be seen, you know what, we'll see where it goes, because this is about computers, and it is about computer viruses and something called a computer worm, which is similar to a virus, except somehow worse, to be honest.
Wormy worm.
Yeah. And yeah, disclaimer also, if you're into coding, this is going to be hard to listen to. This is a very basic description from a girl who doesn't know a lot about coding. So if you're still interested in listening to the episode, you can interpret it as this is how outsiders see the engineering and coding world. I'm not going to be trying to explain any complex ideas, obviously. I'm in the arts, so I'm just going to be trying to go for something a little
simple. This is a disclaimer that we know we're wrong. Okay? We know we're wrong.
Exactly. Read our TikTok bio, experts in nothing.
Yeah.
I had to put that in there because y'all were being too crazy. Y'all really expect the most from us, okay? Oh, gosh. Just a quick side tangent. We posted this TikTok about electricity from last week's a couple weeks ago episodes. And we were talking about how electricity shouldn't even be a thing, and how everything should just be charging all the time, and it should be through Wi-Fi.
We shouldn't have to charge things anymore.
No, and everything should just always be charging because electricity is through the air. And the comments were extremely split. Some people were like, I can't believe these girls are actually this stupid. And other people were like, this is how the Tesla coil was invented. So what is it? Are we Tesla or are we idiots?
honestly, there are some TikToks that we put on the internet that I can wholeheartedly understand why people think we're stupid. Like, too. Stupid. I can understand.
We want it. We want you to tell us we're dumb.
Yes.
We want interaction.
We get it. We get it. This specific video, I honestly don't get what was so stupid about it. It's a good idea. We weren't saying this is how it works. We weren't trying to explain anything. We were just saying we are at the point when we shouldn't have to charge things. And this is an example of how you could do it. Please, Elon Musk, take it from here. We weren't saying how to do it. Just an idea. Just putting it out there.
Yeah. If you already have it on the Tesla coil, why can't you get it into the actual world, into the actual air? And some other comments said, this is actually something people are researching and working on.
I think we're actually just smart. I think we're just really smart. Yeah. I think we're just too smart for TikTok.
Yeah. And the people
still
are like,
get us.
I can't believe you're actually this dumb. I'm like, okay.
You're dumb.
Look at the other comments, okay, before commenting your opinion, because apparently you're the one who doesn't know anything, not us.
God. Do your research before you talk about stuff like that.
Hit him with the do your research. Oh, God. So, yeah, another week where we just did an hour or two of research. Just have no idea. Just flying by the seat of our pants, really. I don't know. And shout out to that one guy. I think so, too. We're just people trying to explain it in, common people languages, you know?
Yeah. Y'all are just, too embarrassed to admit that this is actually what happens in your brains, guys. We're just being vulnerable about our thought processes.
Exactly.
Come on.
You love to see it. And shout out also to the TikTok commenter who started off with calling us idiots and then later came back to comment and say, but why is this account so addicting? And then followed us.
You're welcome. He gets
that was a win. Yeah,
he does get it. It's a mix between satire and seriousness, but it's good. It's good.
It's a good mix. So on that note, I first got interested in this side of the world a little bit because I was looking at infographics and this one infographic came up. I don't know. I was just I was looking for
just Googled
information.
Infographic.
Kind of. I was like, best infographics.
Okay.
I wanted to see what was out there.
Fair enough.
So it led me to this website, which led me to top 100 infographics. I only made it through about 13 before my stupid little brain, who is used to Vine and TikTok, just couldn't not with the attention span.
It's why is nothing moving?
Yeah. Infographics are very dynamic, actually. There's a lot going on the infographic. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. They're pretty interesting.
They were moving?
Infographics move. Yeah, that's how they work.
No.
It's information, but it's whoosh, whoa,
okay.
That's how they work, I think. So
I think I need to revise my thesis proposal based on that information. I said I was going to make an infographic, but that was not my understanding of what I was agreeing to do.
Right.
I thought it was just a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm. With graphics of information.
Graphics that contain information.
Right. Maybe I'm using the wrong word, but it was an animated infographic. Okay. I think you could still use infographic for that. This was just a moving and a little bit interactive. It was video format. Okay. But if you have paper format for infographic, I think it's totally fine.
Okay.
And one of the infographics that I was watching, it was a 3-minute video, and it was about this computer worm called Stuxnet. And worms are different than viruses because viruses, this is just an opener. Viruses need to be opened and downloaded by a user, and it's an accidental spam. Oh no, you just downloaded a virus. But worms, once it's on the computer, you don't have to open anything. It just if you plug in a USB, you won't even have to open the USB, and it'll just go onto your computer and then replicate itself 1 million times over, and then it's able to infect other computers via vibes, pretty much. So
hold on. The internet, other computers next to it,
who
other
are on
computers
the same
in
network.
the world. Okay.
Yeah, and it can spread as far as other computers around the world and stuff like that. And this one, Stuxnet, it's the perfect example of how things manage to go a little too far and spread a little too much, and it was completely unknowing to everybody else. So this worm was discovered in 2010, and it was discovered in traffic control centers power plants and factories all around the world.
That's kind of important stuff.
Yeah. And they looked deeper into the code and they found out that it had the power, it had the coding to shut down oil pipelines.
Yes.
And it had...
Do it. Do it.
Right. And it had the power to spin nuclear fuel centrifuges out of control until they failed.
Don't do that.
Yeah. So...
Oil, yeah. Nuclear, no.
I know, isn't that so crazy? So the systems that operate on this stuff is like super locked down, but every code apparently has this weak point that even the creators aren't aware of. Like they have no idea that there's weaknesses in their codes, but hackers can find them. And these weak points are called 0 days. And you can buy 0 days on the black market for like anything that any hacker has found for $100,000.
Okay, wait. Whoa. Yeah. Okay, so coder writes code. Coder publishes code. Hacker hacks code. Hacker finds 0 day. Hacker sells that information, the information of where it is and what it is on the internet.
Yes.
Wow.
Isn't that so fucking crazy? And it's like a black market business. You can't just go to the store and buy a 0 day. Like you have to, first of all, be on the dark web to be able to probably access this stuff. Second of all, have $100,000 handy to be able to get the 0 days. And then also some of the 0 days might not even be useful to you. For example, Stuxnet bought 20 0 days, 20 times $100,000, and only exploited 4 of them, which was actually a record for a worm. Normally they only do 1, but these guys were like, we're going to use 4 of them and go for it. And that still means that the others were just completely like shoved to the side, like bye-bye hella money. So inside of this code was a specific target. And if the target wasn't available, then the virus would just remain dormant and just like do nothing until it had the opportunity to move to another computer that wasn't already infected. The worm, sorry.
Okay.
I might go in between calling it a virus and a worm just because...
Honestly, the worm sounds more like a virus to me. Like it sounds like it works like a virus, you know? It infects
and it's just like duplicates and duplicates and duplicates. I know, but in the media, like sometimes people call worms viruses and viruses worms because it's like for people who don't know the difference. Like I've never heard of the term computer worm before. Me neither. I looked this up, so I think it's just used interchangeably in the media, and like I might just end up doing that, to be honest.
Fair enough.
Just because of my programming, like I was saying, I don't know shit about computer engineering, so let's go. So the target that they discovered was the nuclear enrichment centrifuges in Iran. And this was not good. In Iran, they found out that it had infected 14 industrial sites, including the nuclear fuel enrichment plant. And the worm would do this thing where it would like infect the Microsoft Windows machines, look for software that was tracking data on how the centrifuges were spinning. And then the centrifuges also are like just this device that like spins really quickly to separate liquids from each other and to like make it stable, I guess. And the hackers were like using the worm to spy on the activity in the places and to gather data. And then they would get the centrifuges to spin out of control. But the Stuxnet would tell the operators that everything was totally fine and that there was no problems. So it used all the data that it had collected just by sitting there and spying and then told them that everything was fine, but it spun out like so many centrifuges in Iran. I know. Is that so insane?
What?
Yeah. And apparently, and Iran like is being very secretive about what actually happened. So only in speculation do we actually know how badly this worm affected their power plants and their centrifuges, and like mostly it was just these couple of nuclear not reactors, but like what are they called again? Nuclear enrichment sites.
What is a nuclear enrichment site?
It's for like gasoline that does something for nuclear. I don't know, but just the word nuclear typically like scares me a little bit. Yeah, so I know it's quite important. Okay. But they use it to, it's like a power plant pretty much. So they use it to like power a lot of things. So it apparently shut down like 100 centrifuges in one plant. And in another plant that was still under construction, it was found to be infected. And they found out that if they had turned it on, it would have led to a nationwide blackout. Is that so fucking crazy?
And this is why I have so much fear about, like, self-driving cars.
Yeah.
That are just on the internet. Because, like, if we can do this, if a little worm, you know, some guy behind his computer, you know, probably in his mom's basement somewhere, can cause a nationwide blackout for a nuclear plant.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure people can hack into our cars once they're self-driving.
Yeah, I think
and
so
just
too.
Crash.
Yeah, like there could be something on your computer right now and you would have literally no idea. Oh, like I bet there is, and it's just sitting there waiting for the perfect moment, and then, like, I don't know, I guess it'll just, like, attack and steal your data, I guess.
If you wipe out my computer, you wipe out my computer, you know? It sucks, but, like, what happens when these things, like, actually start affecting our lives? Like,
right? Like, they can derail trains. Like, these codes have the power to just derail trains. Like, if that's what they feel like doing, they can override the system that currently exists, and, like, you can just cause, like, horrible accidents. Like, same with the self-driving cars. Like, it's just probably hack into them, and then the next thing you know, it's like your car is not self-driving anymore, but you still think it's self-driving, and then you're spinning out of control. Scary stuff.
Eek.
Yeah.
Eek. Okay.
Eek. Big time eek. Okay. And no one has figured out like who was kind of behind this, like, Stuxnet attack, but because of how sneaky and how, like, well crafted this worm was, the antivirus group that was hired was led to believe that it was actually a nation-funded attack, and there was probably, like, 10 coders in the world that are able to pull something like this off, because it's such, like, a complex thing, and it probably took, like, months to implement, and the amount of money that was involved in, like, getting this going, there people are starting to speculate that it was, like, a war attack almost, and this is now how, like, maybe wars are going to be fought or something like that.
Wars are fought by the software developers.
By codes. Yeah.
By coders.
Yeah.
It's going to be our new army. It's going to be a bunch of people behind computers just, like, viciously typing, guys. That's how World War III is going to happen.
We're not prepared.
No. You're getting your computer science degree, maybe stop. Stop. You might be enlisted.
Yeah, literally. We need coders. That's such a good point. Like, these companies already exist, these, like, antivirus and, like, anti-malware companies. They're already fighting little wars on the computers every day, you know?
Crazy stuff.
But yeah, the rumor has it that it might have been Israel who did this Stuxnet code because of references to the Hebrew Bible in the code, which this is bad, but that was so interesting to me. Like, you can just add references and, like, names into code, and it can tell people something about the code and about the creator or something like that. I think that's a fun little
coder
thing.
I only know this because Janae is coder.
Yeah.
They all have, like, their own, like, style, I think it's called.
Yeah.
So, like, every code is unique to, like, the coder. So I guess they, like, named some of their, like, functions and stuff like that after stuff in the Hebrew.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That they might have been. I know, right? It's
guys, disguise your code a little bit more.
Or people think it could have been the States. And they possibly are just trying to, exactly.
Love it.
Decoy it out a little
Love
bit.
It.
Mm-hmm. And a couple months after the worm was removed, because obviously they found it, they removed it, it was reported that either the real one or a variation of Stuxnet can be found online for anybody to download and to try to figure it out. And there's actually YouTube videos of people trying to understand this code that can shut down nuclear centrifuges and oil pipelines, and just trying to explain it and recode it and code it backwards. It just exists out there. Pretty scary.
2021 is just such a weird place to be alive. I just don't understand. I don't understand it at all. How that can just, like, shut down our world. But it's fine.
And it's just open access. Like, these are the kinds of things. I don't know. It's weird that I haven't heard of this before, but also, like, it's not because I'm not really in this world. But I just feel like maybe this stuff, I don't know if this is true. Let me know, you guys, if you are in coding school and if you are learning about this stuff, because it's literally on YouTube. And it's just an open source code that people can take a look at and try to figure it out and try to recreate it, I guess, and to be stronger and better than the last code. So I feel like this should definitely be taught in school. I don't know. Because if you can figure out how to make it better, you could probably also figure out how to beat it and, like, what the drawbacks are of it to get ready for the next reinstallment of this code, of this worm, possibly.
Or maybe. You can just do it again.
Yeah. Well, they have like walls up against it and stuff like that now. They're a little bit more prepared. They got their good. Hacker versus hacker situation on, and they really tried to figure that shit out. Oh my gosh. Actually, I have a little bit of a funny fact coming up. That's pretty much it about Stuxnet. I'm just going to talk about some like weird code things now. And weird like virus things. In 2019, recently, researchers found 4 more malwares which were similar to Stuxnet, and they collaborated with another group of hackers who were just like antivirus, I guess, to take down the viruses and worms, and they called their group Gossip Girl. Is that so fun?
XOXO.
Gossip Girl. Right?
That's so cute. I love it.
Did
they use all their names in there? Did they say XOXO Gossip Girl? I hope they did.
I hope so.
If they
freaking hope so. Then you're doing it wrong. But yes, coders are just a little like they like to do little fun things. I like these little stylistic, artistic choices that they're throwing in to their computer code. It's kind of fun and kind of fresh and kind of cute. So let's talk a little bit about like beginnings of viruses and like beginnings of worms. In 2003, there was this worm called the SQL Slammer, and it would override your computer with buffering. And it infected 75,000 computers in 15 minutes and caused the entire internet to slow down and crashed the bandwidth for like a couple of hours. Isn't that so insane?
Wow.
And it's such a weird situation because the patch for this like buffering virus was released 6 months earlier, but people like didn't care about upgrading and patching their computers back then apparently, and so they just like a bunch of computers got infected to the point where the internet pretty much stopped, and the virus literally did no harm at all. All you had to do was update it, restart your computer, and then it would be working fine. It didn't remove any files, it didn't like corrupt anything or anything. It would literally just buffer your computer to the point of no return, and then just restart it, repatch it, and you're good to go.
I love this like harmless.
I don't understand it. What's the point? Is it just
harmless like terrorism? I don't even know what to call it, but like
it was just trying to prove a point, I think, maybe like patch your computers, pay attention to what is going on your computers, and make sure you get the most recent update.
Maybe it was created by
Microsoft.
By Microsoft.
Yeah, I bet it was.
People would do updates. They're like stupid people.
That's so
We're going to teach them.
Yeah. Now they'll be getting those updates all the time. And yeah, it's just cute. The SQL Slammer, it wasn't evil, but it was the fastest moving worm to this day because it infected and crashed the internet within 15 minutes.
That's crazy.
Pretty sick, right?
Holy moly.
Holy moly guacamole. And here's another fun one. It was called the I Love You worm.
Aww.
And I love these names. Like, it's so cute and creative. In 2000, this 24-year-old man named Onel de Guzman, who was poor and struggling to pay for internet access at the time, decided that this is unfair and internet access is a human right. And I am completely within my right to steal others' passwords and log into their internet accounts without needing to pay for the service.
Oh,
so it's not actually stealing because internet is a human right. This was in 2000.
Oh, okay.
So what he did, I know, it's such an interesting point of view, right? But I think if you're like poor and struggling, then I guess it's easy to direct your anger at almost anything and just be like, this is so unfair. Like, you gotta.
I agree. Internet should be cheaper.
Right? It should be cheaper.
With him
especially
there.
In Canada, we have a whole other thing in Canada, though, where we're like, our internet rates are second highest in the entire world. It's so unfair. And most of Canada doesn't even have high-speed internet because it would cost too much for providers to give people high-speed internet. Like,
we're struggling out here. Canada was not built for internet.
No. So what this I Love You worm was, it was an email. Oh, you guys remember these?
Of
Spam
course.
mail. So it would like send a little email, and the file was I love you. And it was kind of sophisticated because depending on who it was being sent to, it would change its name. So if it was being sent to an adult from like a random, because it'll send to every single person on your list, and it can get some information from them. So if it was sent to an adult, then instead of I love you, it would say something like baby pics. Or if it was sent to someone in Italy, then it would change I love you to like I love you in Italian or something like that. I don't know, I thought that was pretty high tech for like the 2000s.
Wow.
Good for him. He really thought this one through. So at first it was only in Manila in the Philippines, but then he, out of curiosity, removed his geographic restriction, and it spread worldwide. And it cost $10 to $15 billion American to be removed from every computer that it was infected.
Just one guy.
It got so bad that the Pentagon, the CIA, and the British Parliament decided to completely shut down their email services until it was fixed like 8 days later.
Just because this one little guy in the Philippines was like, I don't want to pay for my internet.
Yeah, I deserve free internet.
Fair enough.
And he just got overloaded with information.
I respect that.
I know. This very much respectful. And he's like obsessed with his privacy too. Like he they put him in a holding cell for a while because they were like, this has got to be a crime, but it wasn't accused of any crime because it was 2000 and they didn't know how to do like internet crime, right? So he just like covered up his face, like he didn't want to be seen. And yeah, still he's kind of a mystery to this day. Like we don't know where this guy is, like probably hopefully working in computers. I feel like that's where he is the most. That's what he likes the most. So let's get on to this like name thing a little bit because I'm kind of obsessed. So there was this virus called the Abra Levine virus, which is extremely relevant to our podcast because Courtney, striking resemblance to Abra Levine.
My whole life been called Abra
Her
Levine.
whole life. They're like, you know what you look like? Like people will meet her and right off the bat, they're just like, you know what you look like? Yeah, I literally won't even ask you what your name is, but they're just like, oh, you look exactly like Abra Levine. Like she doesn't even need to open the conversation. This was also like a little bit of an email type of thing. And this guy was like, oh, I want to name it like the Abra Levine virus. I want to name it like the Naith virus, Naith, because he didn't like that it was named the Abra Levine virus because in the coding world, there's like this rule that you're not supposed to name your viruses or worms or codes after celebrities or corporations.
Why?
Or brand names. I don't know. I guess just kind of to avoid
free publicity. They're like, they can't.
I guess so. It's just like an unspoken rule. I think it's it's like within the coding community. It's not like a law that like corporations are like, don't name your code after me. It's like within the coding community, they're like, maybe they're a little bit anti-capitalism and they're just like, we don't want to give them extra stuff.
Yeah,
right?
They don't need more credit.
Yeah, they don't. So this guy tried to change the name from Abra Levine to Naith, and it didn't really catch on. And then he changed it to Livra, which was Avril spelt backwards.
Livra.
Yeah, it's kind of cute, right?
Okay. Livra.
But I'm not 100% sure if it's stuck. It's just called the Abra Levine virus now. He tried so hard, but she did succeed. And in 2017, fun fact, Abra Levine was the most likely celebrity name to land a virus on your computer, with 15% of Google links leading you to malicious downloads.
15% to Abra Levine virus?
Yep. If you Google Abra Levine, you're 15% more likely than usual to get a virus on your computer.
Amazing.
Pretty bad, eh? And this was actually around the time when the Avril is dead conspiracy theory was surfacing. So I think that has something to do with it because her name was being Googled a lot more. Because they were like, is Avril dead? And then maybe it led to like some sketchy links or something like that. And yeah, for a while in 2017, it was recommended to not Google Avril Lavigne. So this programmer said that sometimes we like to send a little message to the virus writer. For example, the Klez author, which is another worm, tried to hide his code by encoding parts of the virus, and they named the virus Klez after the sequence of letters in the key, just kind of as a we know what you're doing type of statement. Like, we see you and we're onto your game.
I like that.
Right? There was another one named Nimda, which is admin spelt backwards. Named for the system administrators that would be driven mad by that worm. It was another one of those like mass email viruses. And then the same computer engineer said that it's kind of our idea of fun. Maybe we need to get out more. I kind of love it.
It's so cute.
I know, right? No, don't get out more. Stay in. I like
fun.
These little memes and
Attack,
jokes.
Attack the corporations, man. Just keep going. Just don't you don't have to do anything criminal. Just like make their lives a little bit harder for a day. It's kind of funny.
I like the little email viruses. Just like spread some love.
Make a virus that just changes everyone's background to like a meme or something.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
That'd be so good. There's so many of these like weird little viruses where it's like it starts off as like one like ball like going across your screen, and every time it hits it becomes 2 and then 4, and then it like keeps doubling and multiplying until eventually your whole screen is covered in like ping pong balls.
I love
and your computer crashes because I know, like there's so many harmless ones that it's still like a nuisance. Like you can't go on your computer, but it's just like bing, 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 bing. Like, so ridiculous. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I just have one more kind of fun little fact for you guys. Apparently Bill Gates was responsible for creating the first computer virus. Yes. And he created the blueprint for a computer virus, if you will. He created a program that copies itself into other programs and ruins data. Ooh. And yeah, I mean, he might be responsible for a lot of this. And yeah, after that, he was like, I might have created something horrible. He just went back to like making a scheduling program for their school's computer or something like that. He was over it. He was like, this is too strong. I have uncovered something too real. Poor guy. Oh, he had no idea. Yeah, so that's the tea on computer viruses and on computer worms. I know.
I've never heard of computer worms. You know what, though? We actually... Do you remember at Carleton when we got a computer worm? Across the whole campus?
I don't remember
that.
Yeah,
it was happened? At Carleton. I think if you had like a Windows computer or... it was one of the two. If you had one of the two, they told you that you couldn't log on to the internet with your login because they were actually stealing students' files and then holding them hostage. The university had to pay over like millions of dollars to get files back because they were literally stealing like homework, people's theses, people's research because they hacked into the school Wi-Fi and stole.
I completely missed that. Mm-hmm. Wow, holy shit. I kind of like that the school had to pay like millions of dollars in ransom to like unlock
they literally held them ransom. I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Didn't we have a computer engineering program? That should have been their project.
Maybe they made it. Maybe that was their project.
Yes! Fuck the system. That's honestly inspiring. I am pretty amazed by that. Yeah, I bet it was students. 100%. 100%. They know this shit better than anyone. That's so funny. I'm proud of them.
Me too. Same. I mean, I would have preferred them not like attacking poor like graduate students. Maybe go for someone else, but
I think they knew that their ultimate goal was the school, and the students were just kind of a side target. Yeah, just a casualty, and they got their stuff back. Apparently, right?
I think I don't remember. Yeah.
So cool. So yeah, code can be cute and fun, but also horrifying and possibly could end the world too. Everything runs on computers, man.
It's true.
Airplanes, things that can end the world, other things such as
airplanes.
I don't know.
Other things. Soon cars, power plants.
Computers aren't indestructible.
All of our jobs.
Yeah, like maybe I don't know how the computer works, but that doesn't mean someone else does. Doesn't. we fucked.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's true. We fucked.
Yeah.
Somebody much. Actually, you know, somebody
need to learn some coding.
Somebody needs to start making a code to disable the robots when they take over. Like, start now. Developing that one so that we can like protect ourselves.
They've already started doing that.
Oh, good. That's good.
That's a field of research for a lot of people like in AI because the chance that AI is going to take over is about 10%, which is low, but also
higher than we would like it.
Yeah.
Higher than ideal.
Yeah. High enough that they have to have an entire team dedicated to trying to figure out how to stop them from taking over.
So weird.
It's so weird. I
don't get tech.
What the code that far in advance? Because at that point, I feel like when the robots do take over, they're gonna know how to uncode the code that made them docile again.
Yeah, like the whole thing is that they're gonna be smarter than us. So
They're gonna
maybe
have
just
this...
stop once again.
Once again, Silicon Valley. This is an open message to all Silicon Valley. Stop.
Oh.
Peace and love. Peace and love. Go home. Coat a tree.
Take the day off.
Take the day off. Yeah. That's it. That's all.
Thank you. Very interesting.
Courtney.
All right, guys, welcome to the second half of the podcast. This week, I am talking about Coca-Cola.
Woo! And I just so happen to be wearing a Coca-Cola shirt, completely unbeknownst to... Yeah.
Unplanned. It's pretty cool.
We are energetically aligned.
Mm-hmm. Vibes. And so, yeah, I'm talking about Coca-Cola this week. I want to talk specifically about a philosopher, not a psychologist, a philosopher who has a theory about Coke, about Diet Coke specifically. It's called the nihilism of Coke, or the
nihilism of Coke
paradox.
The paradox?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So I'm going to talk about that in a bit, but first I wanted to just talk about Coca-Cola a little bit because they're a super weird company and a super weird product. So we're just going to do a little bit of a background first.
Yeah, I can't wait.
So they originated in 1886 by a pharmacist in Atlanta whose name is John S. Pemberton. Mm-hmm. And the original drink, as many of us know, had cocaine in it.
That's what I have always heard, and I wasn't sure if that was just a rumor because it's literally called Coca-Cola, the short form is Coke. But it's true, it actually did have cocaine in it.
It did have cocaine in it.
How did they get access to that?
It was the 1800s. I don't think anyone really gave a shit.
Gotcha.
And so when it was originally came out, it was actually advertised to be a tonic for most ailments, based on the fact that it had cocaine, because people would drink it and they'd be like, I feel great.
Oh.
So, yeah, it was originally thought to be a medicine. And it was inspired by a drink called the Vin Mariani from France. And the Vin Mariani is red wine mixed with cocaine.
Oh,
that is the drink.
God.
And they used to drink it in
That's
France a lot.
Insane. I didn't know you could drink cocaine, first of all.
I think they just took the powder and mixed it into the red wine.
Mix it in? That's so insane.
Just a little mixy mix.
Oh, you know what? When you put it in your coffee, we call it a quadruple.
We.
Canadians. I mean, I don't speak for all Canadians, but that's just what I've heard, you know? You know, you can get a double, triple. Yeah. Quadruple.
I just feel like it's a recipe for a heart attack.
Yeah, me too.
Both. Cocaine in coffee and cocaine in wine. Both just seem completely wildly unhinged to me, but you do your thing.
Especially for the 1800s, I feel like there wasn't a lot of research done about that kind of stuff. They were just really living off vibes back then.
They were yeah, honestly, it seems like a nice time to live. They were these two things mixed together makes me feel nice.
And that's all that matters.
This is good.
Yeah.
And then they made a product out of it.
Mattered.
And that was Coke.
And then they died at age 40.
But I mean,
not ideal.
Maybe worth it. Anyways, so yes, it had cocaine in it from the coca leaf, and it had caffeine extracts as well. So it was caffeine and cocaine. So maybe it was at
least those
quadruple
to go together, you know.
And the cocaine was officially removed from Coke in 1903.
Oh, wow. That's
from 1903
late.
On, there was no cocaine in Coke.
I wonder if product sales went down.
Maybe they're it's not the same anymore. Yeah. So just some fun facts about Coke. So in 1978, it became the only company allowed to sell cold packaged soft beverages in China.
Wow, that's so interesting. What?
Yeah, they just are okay with Coke.
That's it?
Which is weird because Coke is very American. Yeah. I think now they do, but it was the first one that was allowed to be sold in communist China. Mm-hmm. Very strange, but interesting.
Is very strange.
To get people to drink it, they started by handing out free coupons for a bottle of Coke, and then once people tried it, they just couldn't stop. Yes, and this is probably because I had cocaine in it. So, I mean, wow. It's a good strategy.
That's
good
insane.
Free, and then you get hooked.
Yeah, literally. They're just creating little drug addicts. Wow. Holy shit, that's so crazy.
And it used to be given to babies to help them calm down.
No way. To help
Which
them
I
calm
don't.
down.
Yeah, I don't understand that, because to me, cocaine is like a stimulant, right? Like,
you know what probably happened? The baby started to like actually like freak out a little bit, and like they probably didn't even get calmed down. They probably were just having like an internalized anxiety attack because of like they were just like tweaking.
The parents were like, wow,
like,
so calm. And
Coke really works. Works miracles.
no.
And the child's like, gotta get out of here.
In 1985, there was a little bit of a scandal because Coke came out with a new formula. It was called New Coke. Oh. And it tasted really bad. But it was cheaper to make. So they were trying to like push New Coke on people. Mm-hmm. The marketing subjects that were asked to review it, and they gave it like good reviews, but they were not actually told that it would be replacing Coke. They were told that it would be an alternative. Yeah. So they didn't know that they were, killing Coke by doing that. And basically people berated the company until they brought back their old formula. And then they rebranded New Coke into Coke 2.
Yeah.
And they sold it until 2002.
Oh, wow. It actually did okay, huh?
Not really. I don't think anyone bought it. I think they just kept really trying. They really stuck with it. They were like,
Even though the people hated it, we have too much in the back to not be able to sell it.
Pretty much.
Wow. They tried.
Yeah. The soda can was invented by Coca-Cola, and it was invented for the purpose of giving soldiers Coke while they were fighting in the war.
That's really weird to imagine. Mm-hmm. The trenches, and they're just like,
Coca-Cola. Yeah, it was invented for them. And then it was offered to civilian customers in 1960. This one's pretty cool. All right, so there was a Russian general, and we all know Russia and America.
No.
Don't go well together. Yeah, mad beef. So there was a Russian general who really liked Coke, but he couldn't be seen drinking Coke because of, the beef.
The beef, yeah.
So Coca-Cola actually made him a clear Coke, so it would look like he was drinking vodka. And he would drink it.
That. It's more respectable for an army general to drink vodka
than Coke. I mean, it's Russia,
Yeah, that's true. It's Russia.
But vodka. It's also crazy to me that they could make Coke clear that tastes like Coke. I don't know why, but that just sits weird with me.
Oh, I thought you meant
I feel like the taste comes from the color. Clear. No, they made the beverage clear.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
So they just are literally putting dye into Coca-Cola?
Yeah, pretty much.
That like completely changed my opinion on Coca-Cola. Ew, imagine drinking something that looks like water and it tastes like Coca-Cola. I can't wrap my head around that.
I know. I feel like part of the taste comes from the color, and I don't know why. I just feel like it needs to be that color, but no, apparently it can be clear.
Oh my god, my brain can't handle this information. Like I'm struggling to. This is like This is like struggling to think of like what not existing is like, what death is like. You just can't wrap your brain around it because you can't. I feel
the same way. When I read this, I was like, this is fake. You can't make clear Coke, but you can. You can make clear Coke. Freaks me out though. I don't like that. I am uncomfortable too.
Ugh. They shouldn't do that ever.
It should not.
That wouldn't go down well for anyone except for that one Russian guy. Fuck.
And then there was a scandal in 1990 called Magican, where it was like a marketing event, I guess, that they had that was going on, where some cans contained money. So it was bills that ranged from $1 to $500.
Whoa!
And the cans were spring-loaded, so when you would open them, the money would just kind of like get spit out. Mm-hmm. But they wanted to make sure that the cans with the money weren't lighter than the ones without the money, so that people couldn't just like pick them up and say like, this one's empty, it has money in it. Yeah. So they filled the cans that had the money in it with a solution of water, chlorine, and ammonium sulfate because they thought people would open it and smell it and be like, that's not Coke. I shouldn't drink that. But they were wrong. A lot of people drank the chlorine and ammonium sulfate mix.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and they almost got into a lawsuit. And honestly, I don't know how they didn't get into a lawsuit for literally feeding people chlorine for putting poison into their cans.
The fuck?
But they somehow whooped out of that one.
That's
and they didn't get sued. They almost did, but they did not.
Wow, you really have to treat the customer like an idiot. Like, you really have to treat us
people
like
trust Coke too much. Too much. They're like, it smells weird, but it's Coke.
But it would be clear too. That would also be something that would throw me off. The color. I guess you wouldn't be able to see it because it's inside a can. Oh my god.
I also don't understand why they didn't just fill the can with Coke. Like, then it would have been the same weight. They wouldn't have poisoned people.
Whole new poison. Like, that's so much work.
Just put Coke in it.
Or just water. Like, you don't have to put
water.
Or any, like, ammonium, nothing. Like, you should.
That's a good point. Why the chlorine?
Water should have been the end of that list.
Water should have been sparkling water. Make it a nice sparkling water drink. There's so many other options than literal poison, but they did. They went with the literal poison and didn't get sued.
To preserve the money or something like that? Like, there must have been some reason for it. Ugh, that's weird. That's a really bad idea. Oh my god. Maybe it's to disinfect the cash? I don't know.
But I feel like drinking dirty money water is probably safer than drinking chlorine. I don't know.
Probably.
Just an idea. All right. So moving on to the nihilism of Coke.
Yay.
So there's a philosopher. His name is Slavoj? Slavoj Zizek. I'm just going to call him Zizek because I don't actually know how to say his first name. I think he's Russian.
Okay.
And he calls Coca-Cola the perfect commodity. Mm-hmm. He thinks that Coca-Cola and Diet Coke is the only true commodity under capitalism.
I don't understand.
I'm going to get into it. Don't worry.
The perfect commodity.
So, good old Daddy Marx, he once said that a commodity is never just simply an object that we buy. It's full of theological and even metaphysical niceties. So Zizek kind of explains this by saying that we never buy an object for its practical use. We buy an object for the dream or the idea that we have around the object. So, for example, you never buy a car because you need to take your kids to school. You buy the car for the dream of the freedom it can bring you.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah. And so Zizek also goes on to say that most of us don't actually want the thing. We want the substitute of the thing, deprived of its essential feature. So we want caffeine. We want coffee without the caffeine. We want beer without the alcohol. So you want the thing, but none of the things that make the thing a thing. Does that make sense?
No, I'm so confused about the beer without the alcohol and the coffee without the caffeine. That's the
people want to drink caffeine-free. People want to drink caffeine-free coffee. That's decaf coffee.
That's okay. That's true.
What's the point of drinking it? There is alcohol-free beer that a lot of people buy because they want to drink beer without the alcohol to the beer. People buy sugar-free cake because they want to eat the cake without the sugar, but it's the sugar that makes a cake a cake.
I see.
So we want to buy the idea of the thing, but we don't actually want the thing.
Huh.
We want to take the essential feature away from the thing and still have it.
And still be able to have it. Maybe, is this like because of the society that we built around it? That we're like, cake is so good and like, I love to eat cake, but I'm on a sugar-free diet, but I still need cake. Like, is that what you mean?
I think it surrounds, it goes back to this whole thing of like the idea or the dream that it brings us, but not actually wanting the product.
That's so interesting.
So people want the taste of cake
next time,
but they don't want the fat or anything that comes with cake, but they want the cake.
Does that only work for when people buy things without actually wanting the thing, or does that work for like whatever? Like if I buy
I think it works for most things because if you're in the grocery store and you look around, I guess, these are all food examples. Let me try to think of another example. That's not food.
Like, what about your cell phone? Like, the idea of a phone is to communicate with other people, right? Is that like the main...
Yeah, but then you don't buy it practically for communicating with other people, because like practically to communicate with other people, I don't need the latest iPhone.
Yeah, that's true.
I buy it for the dream that it's going to bring, for creativity, for nice pictures. That's okay. This is an example that he gave. He gave the example of the iPad, that people don't buy the iPad for the practical use of it. People buy the iPad for the dream that it'll make them creative, or that they can do art, or you know,
that you're gonna
it's
get
not
your
just
life
for
together.
the iPad. Yeah. So it's the dream. And not the item.
You put it into terms I can understand. Thank you.
So yeah, people buy an iPad to make their lives better, you know,
literally,
to get their lives together. And so Coke is Coke is the only true commodity, because Coke serves no purpose. It is the icon of empty consumption. Coke is about pure enjoyment.
Oh my God.
It doesn't taste good. It doesn't quench your thirst.
No, it doesn't.
If it's warm, it's disgusting. It goes flat in 5 minutes. Like, there's nothing to Coke. And like, even further than that, Diet Coke, no sugar or caffeine. Takes away everything about Coke that's worth drinking.
Yeah.
So it's purely empty consumption.
Yeah, Diet Coke is bad. And people get obsessed with Diet Coke too.
With Diet Coke.
Like, I've seen people who like literally will have mental breakdowns because they're like, I need to get my Diet Coke, and they'll buy 1 liter bottles that'll last for like 2 days, and like constantly have a little bit of Diet Coke somewhere in the house. Otherwise, like, mental breakdown is on its way. What is about Diet Coke? The empty consumption.
Yeah, there's the empty consumption portion. But there's something about the sweetener that they use in Diet Coke.
Oh,
that
right. The
creates some sort of like addictive reaction, because your body, okay, so when your body has sugar, it creates insulin to like convert that sugar into, I can't remember what the rest of that process is, but it creates insulin and like prepares for the sugar.
Yeah.
So when you drink Diet Coke, your body thinks you're getting sugar, so it creates all this insulin, but then the sugar never happens. So then your body constantly craves more because it wants to do this chemical process, but it never gets the chance to with Diet Coke. So you keep drinking more and more and more because your body's like, oh, I need more of it. I need the sugar that I'm prepared for.
What?
It's not prepared for it. So that's kind of how people get hooked on Diet Coke, because like their bodies are just like constantly in this state of like deprivation,
give me more
waiting
sweet,
for something to happen. Yeah.
That's so cool. Wow. Can't be good for you.
No. So he says that, so Zizek says that Diet Coke is the only true commodity within capitalism because it does not sell us a dream, but it sells us the promise of emptiness itself.
Oh.
Deep shit.
God.
Deep shit. Because Coke is literally nothing. It will not quench your thirst. It is a beverage. Does not quench your thirst, does not taste good, does not have caffeine, does not have sugar. It is literally nothing. And it promises nothing. Like, all of its advertisements are about, like, caffeine-free.
You can still drink Coke, but you
don't have to consume it. Yeah, you can still do it. There's no sugar. There's no caffeine. You can still drink it. But
now it's healthy. You can still be a part of our cult.
It doesn't sell in a
part of the dream.
Doesn't do anything. Sells its emptiness. It's truthful about it.
That is so cool. Oh my God. Marketing has done it again. That's so crazy.
Yeah. Something for everyone to just really, really think about. Empty consumerism.
Oh my God. I'm never buying anything again. This is insane.
And like, I think that it also relates back to, I think we've talked about it on the podcast before, when like you buy something and you get that like rush of serotonin, and then like 5 minutes later you're just like sad again because you're like, this wasn't what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And I think that relates to buying things based on the dream rather than like actually what the object is going to practically bring to your life.
Oh my God. Sometimes I buy clothes like that. I'm like, I'm going to be that girl. And then I get the clothes and I'm like,
I'm not that girl.
I'm still the same person.
Oh no,
I'm just wearing this piece of clothing. I'm an imposter. Pretending to be that girl. My pronouns are just her. No, just she. because I will never be her. I fucked it up.
That's okay. It was good. Still good. Still relevant. But yeah, there is your morning dose of existential crisis to think about your consumerism, to think about Diet Coke. You can try looking this up. There really isn't much information on it. There's one TikTok and a book. But it is definitely something interesting to think about. And that was my short TED Talk for this week. But sweet TED Talk for this week.
Thank you. That was so interesting. Oh my gosh. I'm definitely going to be thinking about this one a lot this week. Just in my day-to-day life. Trying to figure out where it fits in. Whether I'm actually buying the dream or something for practical use. Crazy. This is what capitalism
all
has
y'all
led us
people
to,
that are obsessed with Diet Coke, justified.
Aww.
It's the only true commodity under capitalism.
Jesus Christ. It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
That's so beautiful. Oh, poetic.
Thank you.
In fact.
Thank you.
Wow. Thank you to that man.
Zizek.
I love people who think. I like when they put thought into things. Like, yes, you think about things. It's very nice.
I know, like how did someone come up with that idea? Like just holding a bottle of Coke being like, you are nothing.
Yeah.
But you're everything, you know?
Yeah. Wow, you really are just buying nothing. Like just purchasing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Just for the feeling of buying something and
just for the heck of it.
Of having a Coca-Cola. But you still want to be healthy, but you're still drinking Coke, and then you're drinking the aspartame and you know it's not good for you, and you're like, I gotta have my Coke. Oh my gosh. I have so much stuff. It all means nothing.
I know, like everything I've ever bought, I'm like, why did I buy this?
Yeah, literally.
It's probably for the dream. All right, guys, that brings us to the end of the podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for listening to Lydia's opinion about computer worms.
Yeah, wormies.
Little wormies. And for my opinion about the nihilism of Coke. If you want to let us know what you think, you can reach out to us on Instagram at very.unimportant.people. You can send us an email at hatersclickhere, which is HATRS, clickhere@gmail.com. We are on Twitter, @unimportantppl. We're on TikTok.
Good luck.
And last but not least, we are on Patreon.
Yeah.
If you want to know what's on Patreon, it's a lot of extras, a lot of useless conversations, but really funny useless conversations that are just like so
stuff.
off topic they can't make it into the actual podcast. But they are very entertaining, and there's some very entertaining videos for you on there. Maybe some merch coming sometime soon. I don't know. Yeah. You'll only know if you're on the Patreon, so get on it. To get to the Patreon,
you won't
guys.
Regret it. Oh, yes.
A little complicated, but also very simple. Head to our Instagram, very.unimportant.people. Head to our profile. Click on our link tree. Click Patreon. Bam, you're there.
That's it.
Really not that hard. You guys can do it.
You're smart and capable.
Yeah, you are. And that's it for us this week. Have a great